Do you ever feel like fear is taking control of your life? Panic attacks are serious, and I used to suffer from them terribly. But if you want to know a natural way of conquering them, then check out this video. We're always publishing more videos on how to find your way, heal, and get more life out of life. So be sure to subscribe and click that little notification bell thingy. So there was this girl I liked in high school. Thing is, there was this other guy who liked her too. And he was always hanging around with her, and I was just way too intimidated to talk to her. It didn't help that I hated myself for being afraid. And then there was just this one day where they were sitting around in the hallway at school, and it was her and her friend and that guy, of course. And I managed to work up the nerve finally to go up and talk to her. They're sitting there, having a good time, and I just kind of stopped. And I kind of hovered, and I froze, and there was this awkward pause. I think I started turning red. I might have blurted something out, and I was just like this easy target for that guy. He said something, and it probably wasn't even that bad at all, but to me, it was devastating, and I just left. And so that social anxiety and general anxiety got worse and worse. And I developed panic attacks. And it could just hit me for no reason out of the blue. I would just be in my head, and it would just all of a sudden come on. And it got to the point where I just simply could not talk to people at all unless I'd grown up around them. And there's a weird twist of fate in my story. I was doing my bachelor's degree, and there was a different girl that I liked. And I was so determined to talk to her that I just decided this was going to be it. So I worked up my courage, and the next day I decided I'm going to talk to her. But guess what? When I started walking up to her, that exact same guy was there. What the hell? There she was with her friend and the same guy, and the same sequence played out just like it was a script. And by the time I left, I was even more devastated. Weird, right? I didn't know it at the time, but the universe was sending me a message through that guy. And I needed to do something different. At the time, I was reading Dune, the science fiction novel by Frank Herbert, and there's a quote in it that inspired me. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when the fear is gone, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. And where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. What that quote is saying is that fear is a paper tiger, that it only has power if you give it power, only if you believe in its illusion. And it's saying that one way to defeat it is to stop believing the illusion and to stand your ground. So sometime later, I decided to go visit my sister for a weekend. And one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, I was doing something that I never do. I was around a bunch of people that I did not know. And all of a sudden, I was standing in a small circle of them. And that familiar feeling started. The fear was building, and it could hit me at any time. I began reciting that quote in my mind over and over. And then it came at me. If you haven't had a panic attack, it may be hard to imagine. It's a living nightmare. It's overwhelming. Your world collapses in on itself. But this time, I refused to believe it. I refused to believe the things that it was screaming at me, that I was a loser, that I didn't belong with these cool people. It was like this voice of sheer terror It was all around me. It was like a face coming straight at me, but I refused to believe it. I just kept telling myself over and over that it wasn't real. I was still standing, but it was gone. I was still standing in this circle of people who were still, talking and joking around with each other like nothing had happened. I had just fought this giant battle for the first time since I was a kid. I just hung out with people and enjoyed myself. I was free. And it's so strange because all I needed to do to be free was to not believe in the lies that the fear was telling me. I just needed to not believe that I was a loser, that I didn't belong. And as soon as I stopped believing, I took my power back from fear. I cannot recommend that everyone who suffers from panic attacks use this technique to overcome them. It's hard. And there are other gentler ways that are natural to overcome them. That day, I won the battle against panic attacks. But the overall war against fear wasn't over for me. The story kept going. In later years, it crept back into my life in insidious ways, and I had to overcome crippling anxiety and PTSD. To win the war and to truly heal my life, I needed the help of our Sakaso healing and transformation system. With Sakaso, I was able to find the root causes of the fear that were hidden in my subconscious mind. I was able to find those subconscious programs and shift them, and then create the life that I really wanted to live. If you'd like to know more about that, then just go to our Sakaso.ca website and schedule your free life breakthrough session. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.